Oh my god.
Latest acquisition. Bought it from Tim Hammond. I'm sure that name will echo around in a lot of your Land Rover brains because he is a very well-known Land Rover man. Yes, I've used it for the last 3 months. It needs a lot of work. It's got one major issue, which is preventing me from wanting to drive it anywhere other than off the ramp. So today I will take you on a little journey of fixing my daily driver 200 TDI Discovery. This door doesn't lock. We have absolutely no history of this engine being serviced by Tim, and I certainly haven't, and I've probably done 1,000 miles of chugging around. Parts of the interior are just held in by a wish. Oh, where are you going? Come back here, you. Naughty. The fuel tank's fallen out, so it's now held in with a ratchet strap. And I really despise those wheels. I really enjoy those 5-spoke steel wheels, so they'll have to go. But apart from those small things, mainly the fact that the fuel tank fell out when I was driving it to work the other day, she's actually in really nice condition. Tim has put a lot of time and money into it. I believe he bought it as a breaker and decided it was too nice. And then I saw it, had a few beers and was like, I really need to own that car. But it was only £2,000. So I don't think I can really complain about it. I did find this lovely floor mat that I had lying around. I'm pretty sure this is for a Discovery one, so I've put that in. There's loads and loads of bits and pieces rattling around everywhere. I don't think any of the interior lights... Oh, I think I've just broken that now. Okay, add that to the list. Not sure what any of that stuff does. But nice. I'm happy with it. Door takes a few slams to get it shut. But overall, she's a wicked little beast. As you can see underneath, she's actually in surprisingly good condition, which I was really surprised about. Now, don't get me wrong, she has had her odd dodgy little welding repair, but as you can see, she's in really nice condition. And hang on, where was it I noticed it? She's only gone and got some terra firmas on her. Look at that. And some poly bushes too. Look at that, little poly bush. But she does have a wheel wobble around 60. So it's either these horrible wheels or something's got a bit of play in it, which I'm guessing could be this panhard rod, whatever you call it. Apart from that, you know, that's a brand new Monroe shock absorber. That must have cost all of about £3. Well, that looks a bit nasty actually, doesn't it? Yeah, she's not too bad. The first job though today is going to be that fuel tank, so I'll set you up and we'll start getting that sorted. So this is the problem that we have. This is obviously the cradle for the fuel tank, and it has snapped. Don't know how well you can see out there. So this is where it's just dissolved, basically. Let's go up there and have a little look. We can repair that, but it's the bit, don't know how well you can see, is ripped off of the chassis rail. Just see, it looks like there's a dodgy little weld there. One on this side? No. So essentially I'm going to make myself a really strong piece there and repair this cradle, because apart from that bit there, there's not actually anything wrong with this cradle. Now, I think it's got nearly a full tank in it, so I'm just going to make a massive mess and try and lower it down like that, all on my own today. I was just about to drop the fuel tank down and then I noticed all this questionable welding. Look at that. Yeah, okay. Yep, I think we'll just pretend I didn't see any of that, because that all looks fucking horrible. Yep. Okay, I didn't see that. So, update. Right. Stupidly, I took the bracket off because I wasn't really thinking what I was doing. I think I'm going to have to take off the tow bar A-frame. I've managed to release the main filler, and I'm just siphoning all the diesel out into my little can selection. What have we got to say? These are knackered. I just snapped these off, as I don't know if you can see, there isn't actually a, come on, focus, there isn't actually a head on any of these. So there you go. Yeah, so I just twist them, they snapped off. I've still got to get the breather off. God, why is it not focusing today? Come on. I've still got to get the breather off up there. I've been up and disconnected the fuel pump up there. I could not undo the unions, they're rusted solid. And I was just going to break something. So what I've decided to do is I've just undone the tank pump. So the pump will just hang there when I drop the tank down. But yeah, I will come back in a minute and we will hopefully have all the diesel out and we'll have that A-frame down. Progress. This is the piece that I've cut out. Obviously that's supposed to be on the fuel tank strap, and this is all supposed to be something, and there's meant to be a bracket there. So as you can see, cut a big section out. It's actually all completely fine up in there. There's a massive mouse nest in there. You can see there. So that's how long that hole's been there for. This is what I fabricated. There we go. So you can see, just threw something together with some scrap steel that I had. But it's got the stops on it for the fuel tank. And then it's got, I've still got to put, so it's a bit hard one-handed. Got to put a couple of holes in, one there and one there. And that will bolt up. Just trying to get you in like that. There we go. So it will sit slightly over the panel, and I'll seam weld all the way around that, and then the fuel tank will mount to that bit there. So that's that bit there, and then I come over this way. Is the fuel tank carrier. Still well hot, and there we go. That's a new lip for it. Ideally I'd put a new one on, but I'm just trying to get this finished. That's the old one. As you can see, pretty mullered. Yeah, this side was actually okay. Could probably have just put a little patch in that bit there, but you know, I had some steel lying around, and yeah, I've welded this. This has been welded from both sides, as you can see. So she should be pretty much good to go. As far as I'm going today though, been here for about 12 hours, and this will be a job for tomorrow. Hopefully that'll be finished. I am going to go under here again. Oh, not happy with previous owner welding. It's nothing to do with Tim. This is just old welding. Like here, for example, you can tell that's just been done up the side of the fuel tank. These are the bolts that I snapped off. I need to get those out. Yes, I should do those while I've got the tank out, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to. I might end up just putting a half a cross member on the back, or a chassis or something like that. So it's got some pretty pigeon shitty welds all around it here, so I'll probably end up cutting most of that out, redoing it. But like that little horrible thing there. But today is just really just to get this back on the road and to keep using it. But there we go. So next time you see me, it will be tomorrow. Okay, so there we go. That's the support all welded in on both sides. Let's get around here. I was surprised how tricky it was to get up in here with the welder. Not the best welds, I know, but it's solid. And I've just tidied up some of this horribleness here. I think I'm pretty much committed now to, before its next MOT, I'm going to put a quarter chassis on the back of it. Just because I'm not happy with how any of it's been done. That's why I've not really done this amazingly. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still very good. I'm happy with it, and it's strong, and it'll do the job. This is more about just getting it on the road and just enjoying it again over the winter, and then I'll chop the back end off it and go from there. But I'm just going to get this all undersealed. This just hopefully it doesn't rust any more than it is, and then we'll start putting the fuel tank. So that's all nicely done under there. As I say, I'm going to probably replace this half chassis anyway, this quarter chassis. Happy with that. So we just got to try and wrestle the fuel tank back in. And then the cradle. The cradle I've also bare metal, sorry, I'm eating a Mars bar, but the cradle I've also bare metaled and painted that as well, so it should all be good. That's not how you change your fuel pump, by the way. You don't have to take the whole tank out. Right, so that's all in. Very happy with that. I had to stop recording because I was losing my shit with it, and it was not as easy as I thought it would be to put it back in. That's all on. This one here, annoyingly, when someone's repaired the bottom of the chassis there, they've welded through a hole and welded the bolt to it. I've tried drilling it out, just gave up. I thought, you know, deal with that another time. I'm not towing with it, so that bracket's off. Annoyingly, we know this was all very crusty in here. It's all in, it's all done up. Unfortunately, when it's running, it's leaking from around here. So basically, just messing around with it has broken this. Not surprising, you see the state of it's pretty nasty. So I'm just going to order a new fuel pump. It runs and everything, it's just starting to pull up around the base of this one here. So yeah, what I'll end up having to do is, these are never coming undone. Not a hope in hell. I will try, but I very, very much doubt they will. I'll probably end up having to cut these here and here and just bridging them with some rubber pipe. But that's as far as I'm going to go with this today. I still need to obviously service it and now put a new fuel pump in, so I'm not going to be able to squeeze this all into one day because it's now Christmas and I can't get anything. But that was the big mission done. So thanks for watching, everyone, and on the next episode we'll fix the fuel pump and we'll service it.